Um, Hi Leslie. I feel like my eyes are just naked. Go ahead and share the live for me, please. Okay, I'm going to get started because I'm a couple minutes behind, so I'm gonna get started now. Hey everybody, what's going on, y'all? Ashley J here in a different capacity than I normally am. I am here talking about my love experiences. I was going to say something different, but my love experiences. And I started yesterday because you know why? All this week, you guys are going to get to see me and hear my stories that I sort of tell during my lives and then kind of cut off. But you guys are going to get to hear them all because why? I have a show that I'm starting, a talk show that I'm starting coming next week. It'll be launching next week, January 7th at 4 p.m. So you are going to see this space at 4 p.m. every day this week to get you geared up and ready for next week, okay? And the weeks to follow. And the name of the talk show is not My Love Experience, excuse me. The Love Experience Show. That is the name of the show. And I am really excited about it because you know, it's something that I think is much needed. And the concept of the show came because I felt like, you guys needed to hear more stories besides mine. And um, you can learn from other people's experiences, and it's a chance for other people to help you along if you might be in the same category as them, possibly. So yes, their situations can help you. Um, and I will be helping them with a little coaching during the show. So I'm really excited about it and I can't wait for it to launch. I have been working diligently to try to make sure things go well with the show. And yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's happening. So yesterday I talked to you guys about, let me back up. The show is going to air on YouTube. It has its own YouTube channel, The Love Experience Show. That's the name of the YouTube channel. Also, you can find the show pages on Facebook and Instagram under the same name, The Love Experience Show. Okay? Go now and follow those pages and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you know when a new episode is coming out. And also on the pages, especially the Facebook page for the show, you can sign up. You can sign up to tell your story. I am currently looking for people to fill up the month of February. So you can sign up on the Facebook page. There's a calendar, or it should be a calendar on the Facebook page, for you to be able to click on it and book a day, which is every Thursday. And also, if you feel more comfortable with either sending me a DM or commenting on one of these videos or the TV show video, talk show videos, and say you want to be a part. Just drop your comment and I'll contact you. Okay? All right. So now that I have all of that out the way, here's what we talked about yesterday. We talked about my first love experience, and that was my first real boyfriend, right? Well, sister grew up a little bit after that experience, and um, I wasn't okay. So I met this guy. Do y'all remember Black Planet? I met this guy on Black Planet, I believe. I think it was Black Planet, and I met him when me and my first boyfriend were on a break, and we were trying to figure things out in our relationship. So we met then, and we started talking a bit, and we were starting to vibe, right? And you know, because I was on a break, I felt like, okay, well, maybe it's okay to go hang out with him. So I went and hung out with him. He came to the house. He met my father. I was living with my father at the time. He came to the house, met him, and my dad was kind of cool with him or whatever. So I was like, okay, let me give this guy a chance. When I saw him in person, um, he looked a little bit different from his pictures, but it wasn't like a whole lot like, oh, he's a catfish. No, it wasn't on that level. But he was cute. He had nice light eyes, but it wasn't the package that I was used to. I'll say it like that. The packaging was a little different. But I looked past that because I wanted to see what was going to happen. We had such a good time talking on the phone. And back then we were IMing each other, instant messaging each other. So we had a good time with doing that. So we went out. And the first date, we kind of clicked. Everything was cool. And, he took me, I don't even remember where we went for our first date, to be honest with y'all. Shame, I don't remember. But we went somewhere to eat because if you know if you know me, I like to eat. So we went somewhere to eat. And we may have caught a movie because I'm a big movie buff too. So we did that. He took me back home, and we went our separate ways. And when I got back home, I realized, okay, I think I really like this guy. But on the other side, my ex, he was abiding by the what am I trying to say? He was abiding by the break that we had, but he really wanted us to get back together. And now, because I have somebody else in my head, that was less likely to happen for us. So I had, a dilemma. I put myself into a dilemma. Let me say that. I put myself into a dilemma. A lot of times things happen and we say, oh, I don't know why this is happening. Well, it's happening because you put yourself in it. That's why. Okay, so I can fully acknowledge that I put myself in this dilemma, this situation. Okay. So put myself in a dilemma, and I had to make a decision. Meanwhile, MySpace was big back then. And if you were on Face, then you would know that you were able to change the songs that was on your page and change your page up and all of that great stuff, right? Yeah, well, I did that, right? I was changing stuff up. The new guy was friends with me on MySpace. He was following what I had going on. My ex, of course, was following things that I had going on and following me on MySpace. So I had both of them visible to each other, right? That was the worst thing I could have did. So, as time went on, I believe I told my ex we met, and the new guy was telling me, you have to, you gotta make a decision, like what you gonna do. So I was like, okay, because things were falling off with my ex, I was like, I guess it's time for us to just call it quits. So We broke up. He was upset. I told y'all yesterday that I broke his heart. He was very upset that we broke up, but we broke up in person, actually on our anniversary, or it was around our anniversary. We were celebrating our anniversary. He wanted to take me out. So, yeah, we broke up on our anniversary. Um, and, I felt bad about that. I cried a little bit. I don't know if I ever told him that, but I cried a little bit or whatever. But I quickly had to shake it off because I had somebody else in the wing waiting for me. So this is terrible. So, we broke up, and, we kind of ceased communication for a little bit because we needed time to kind of get it together, time to kind of chill and heal. And I, okay, so I had this other guy, and we started to really, after I broke up with him, we started kicking it hard. And things started to go a little haywire. Okay. So they started beefing a little bit on MySpace, and it was kind of crazy. Okay. So, my ex was jumping on here on MySpace saying stuff about, how upset, I think it was like how upset he was that we broke up and that he loved me or whatever, right? The new guy sees the comments, and he comments on his comments, and he says something to the effect of, that's why I took your girl, type of thing. And what else did he say? It was just, he was saying it's over, get over it, like just antagonizing things that wasn't helping the situation. And my ex, they were going back and forth, and I didn't help any because I changed my song on my MySpace page to the left, Beyonce. And yeah, he wasn't happy about that. That was bad. That was a bad situation. So after a while, we everything kind of calmed down. I can't remember how it started to calm down. I think maybe I did it. I don't know, but everything started to calm down, and the guy and I, we were hanging out. He got his first apartment, so I would go over there a lot and hang out with him in his first apartment with his roommate. And he took me to different places, like one place that I've never been to, and actually I haven't been back there since, was a restaurant called Fogo de Chao. And that was the first time I ever been there. It was a great experience, and I was like, okay, this place looks a little bit expensive, so this might be the first place I've ever been to with a guy that's cost this amount of money. So he kind of was doing different things to win me over, and everything was great. Things were going great. We got along really well. Like, things were awesome. He was coming to he would meet my family after some time. I don't remember how long it was, but he would meet my family after some time. And some of my family seemed like they like him. Some of them got him confused with the other guy because their names were similar. So yeah, it was a whole thing. but it was all good, and nobody really had any complaints about him. So time would go on, and we date, I'll say about 6 months we were dating, and we were hanging out pretty much every day, and if we wasn't around each other, we were talking to each other. So it made me kind of wonder, like, okay, so what's going on? What are we doing? Are you my boyfriend? What are we? And his response was, "Oh, we're still getting to know each other." Okay, I'll deal with that. Well, I can use that. I could deal with that. We're still getting to know each other. That's fine. But yeah, that's still getting to know each other, like a year and a half. And I was, dutiful with going to hang out with him, thinking I was the girlfriend, but I really wasn't the girlfriend. I was just a friend girl. A friend that is a girl. Like, I would do girlfriend things. Like, I would you know, do clean this kitchen when it was messy, because their kitchen was often messy. So I would clean the kitchen. I would do, different things. He would let me stay in his apartment by myself. So that was fine. That was stuff that I was, getting accustomed to doing. And one day, I'll fast forward a little while. I don't even know at what point in the relationship we were, but one day, um, I went over to his apartment and I saw something in the apartment in his room. So it was a bag of clothing. And I opened up the bag of clothing, and it is at first, on top of the bag, it had purses. So whoever this bag belonged to had their like 2, 3 purses in the bag. And then as I move on, there's a box of pads in the bag as well. So, my female intuition is going off. I'm almost at rage point right now, okay, as I'm discovering all of this stuff. So I keep digging through the bag and I see underwear, I see clothing, I see all types of stuff in this bag. I look to the left of me and I see new tags from Victoria's Secret on the dresser. So I said, okay, let me do some more looking around. So I look around some more in the apartment. I look in his nightstand drawer. Inside the drawer, I found a CD that said something like the the album of us or some crap. I don't remember. And I said, okay. I texted him and told him, I just can't, I got to your apartment. I see all of this stuff in the apartment, all these female things in the apartment. I don't appreciate seeing it. I think I cussed them out a little bit. And I said, don't ever talk to me again. I'm going home. And I quickly took myself home. And I hunkered down at the house. I was boiling, mad at him. And it took him a little bit of time. He had to figure out how he was going to win me back on this one. And he came up with the weak excuse that his friend needed to do laundry, and he allowed her to come over to their apartment to do laundry. I said, really? She needed to do laundry? Thinking about the times that I've done laundry and I was not at home, I didn't have 2, 3 bag purses inside of a bag with my laundry or a box of pads. Can you explain that? Because to me, that's somebody who is moving in, planning to stay for quite some time. And he said, well, I don't know why she had that stuff. I couldn't tell you why. I said, so what about the new tags on the dresser? Oh, I didn't see them. Maybe she got new underwear. I don't know. And he was like, please let me come see you. Please let me come see you. I was like, you could come over here if you want to, but it ain't nothing is going to happen. Like, I'm over it. So he came after he got off of work. He came over to my house and he was trying to beg and plead, um, that everything, it didn't seem, things weren't the way they seemed, was his point, and that he was trying to make. And I was like, you know what? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. And yes, I went back after all that huffing and puffing, mad, telling him off stuff. I went back to him. So I told him, you need to tell her to come get her stuff now. So he supposedly had told her to come get her stuff. The next time I went to the apartment, which was maybe a week later, I did a search. Yes, I searched the apartment, and come to find out, the clothing was not gone. The clothing was moved to the hallway closet. Yeah. So, needless to say, I was not happy about that. And once again, I left and I was done with him. So I thought, but once again, he came with the excuses. Oh, well, she couldn't come and get him right away. And I didn't want you to be upset because they were still here and da 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 da, running it down. And, I was like, I don't, I'm cool. Like, I'm cool. So I stopped talking to him for a little while. And I was going to temple at that time. And then, while I'm waiting, sitting around not doing anything. I'm thinking about different stuff that he was saying to me. So he was Haitian, and he would tell me things like, because I'm bringing you around my family, so when am I going to meet your family? And he would tell me things like, oh well, in Haitian culture, the guy doesn't bring girls around his family. He has to wait. He doesn't bring the girl around until he is ready to marry that girl or something to that effect. That's what I was told. And that was the bull crap that I allowed to keep going on in this relationship. And I questioned my roommate. She was Haitian as well. So I asked her, I was like, hey, let me ask you something. And I told her what he said. And she was like, well, that's really old school. Guys around our age, they don't go by that anymore. They bring girls over to their house. I said, okay, thank you. So that was another sign that I was special. Okay. That nobody, that not nobody, he was not telling me, he wasn't being honest with me. That was another sign that he wasn't being honest with me. And that made me say, okay, he must have somebody else. Um, because yes, that this stuff is not adding up. And he's feeding me a bunch of lines. So eventually we started to talk again. I did. I went back, y'all. Started to talk again. By this time, I believe I was done with being at Temple University. I dropped out, flunked out. I flunked out, and um, I wasn't doing anything. And then I got a job working for TSA. And when I first got that job, he and we kind of started talking again. And, he was like, let's go hang out. Let's go, do this or whatever. So we started doing things together again. I stayed, by this point, he had his own apartment. He left the apartment he shared with his best friend. And I would go and stay the night at the new apartment. And, things were seeming like they were getting back to the way they were when we first met. Well, um, there was some time that went on again where I was not the only one. And I would ask him, okay, so when are we going to, start, when are you going to make me your girlfriend? When is this going to happen? And again, I was told, well, we're just getting back together. We're just getting back to being to this friendship. And we need to try to, get things back right with one another and really fill each other out and this, that, and the other. I was like, okay, I'll take that, but only for a little bit. I'm not going to wait as long as I did the first time. And he was like, okay, that's fine. Well, we still went on, seeing each other off and on and dating and everything. And one day, what happened? One day I went to his apartment and he had this big picture. It was about, I don't even know how many inches. It was about this big. And there was a picture of a girl on his dresser. And I'm like, yo, what's up with this picture? And oh, this is his excuse. Oh, that's my friend. That was my friend. She gave me that picture. Okay, but why you got it in the bedroom on your dresser? That's the only picture, y'all. The only picture that was sitting on the dresser. And he was like, "Oh, I just put it there. It's not a big deal. She doesn't mean anything to me." Da 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 da. Cool. Um, so that was the day that I really got the message that there was nothing, that I was not going to be anything to him besides sex. That's all I was going to be to him. He did not take interest and have an investment in the relationship like I did. And he didn't really care about me the way I cared about him. And this took a long time. Yes, I know it took a long time, but I finally got the hint, and I had to just leave him alone, and I had to walk away from him because it was just too much happening. It was too much drama for there to not be a commitment, or um I can't think of the word I want to use, but there was too much going on for there not to be a commitment. So I had to peace out. And I literally did not talk to him ever again until a couple of years after we stopped talking and seeing each other. I was in Delaware. My mom was living in Delaware. I was visiting her, and I was at her friend's house at the time, getting my car looked at. And I was on my laptop doing some stuff, and I get this email. And yeah, this email was from him. He sent me, and it stated that he was very sorry for the games that he played while we were together, and I never deserved to be treated like that. And what else did he say? Please, I'm really begging for your forgiveness. And I really hope that you're doing good. And I was like, that is really random to get this message from him, just out of the blue like this. And for him to be apologizing for how he treated me. I never, experienced an apology like that. So I examined his picture more carefully, because I noticed that the picture was different. And he was holding a baby. So I say to him, "Okay, I appreciate your apology, but are you apologizing now because you just had a baby?" And he said, "Yeah, he just had a little girl, and he didn't want his anybody to treat his little girl the way he treated me. That was why I got an apology." So the apology was kind of like not a real apology, but an apology because he, didn't want karma to come right back around on him. But after I saw that, I was like, you know what? I'm completely over it, and I'm completely done. There is no question in my mind anymore about what's going on with you, because you are living your life. You probably had that baby with the girl whose picture was on the dresser and whose clothes I kept finding in your apartment. So I have my answers, I put it together, and I was done. And this was the beginning stages of me becoming cold-hearted towards guys. Yes, your girl started to get cold-hearted, and I, it was not that bad at this point, but there are more stories coming this week where you will find how cold-hearted I got, and find out about the craziness that happened with me in these, different relationships that I've had. Okay. But if I saw myself, if I had me today, like this is just like yesterday, like I said, if I had me today back then to help guide me, I would probably tell me to, one, don't jump from one relationship to the next without taking some time for yourself. That's number one. Number two, when you discover things, you need to believe it the first time and walk away. There was no commitment, so there was no need for me to continue to be try to try to continue to be with him. Let's see, is there anything else? Um, get your bullcrap radar tuned better. That would be the other thing that I would say. Get the bullcrap radar tuned a little bit better. Fine tune it, because you want to hear a whole lot of bullcrap, and you need to pick up on it. And I picked up on it sometimes, but the radar was not always the way it was supposed to be. I picked up on the bullcrap, but I did not stop it. I did not believe the bullcrap. That's what I'll say. So, do you guys have any questions for me? Anything that you would like to find out from this wonderful story? The stories, I'm telling y'all, the stories are going to get better as the week goes on, because I put myself in situations over and over again. Okay. I put myself in situations over and over again. Like I said, we always want to fuss and be upset about the things that happen to us, but most of the time, we are the reason why those things are happening. So, the reason why I was being treated the way I was being treated was because I allowed it to happen, because I kept going with something that I should not have kept going with. Okay. So, anybody have any questions for me? Any questions? I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I will have some more stories, like I said, for you guys tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow at 4 o'clock, so you know, or so you'll hear the craziness that happens next. You must be talking about TSA. Talking about TSA, but TSA was not a major factor in this story yet. So anyway, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to follow the show, the Love Experience Show. Follow the show on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, all under the same name, the Love Experience Show. And also, if you would like to be part of the show, go ahead and let me know. You can book some time on the Facebook page, or you can send me a DM or a comments video and let me know that you want to be part of the show. All right. Thank y'all for coming and watching and listening to my little cuckoo self. And I hope that you come back tomorrow. And I want to know what your love experience is. All right, guys.